Well, hello on a windy February day. It is Saturday, February the 4th. I wanted to give a quick walkthrough through the orchard again. I had some folks ask some questions about that, so quick update. Let me spin the camera. Planted a couple new trees in the spring of 2022. This is St. Edmund's Russet. I wanted to branch out into some more heirloom apple trees that I had some main crop apples already in place. So got a pair of yellow golden russets here, St. Edmund's, and then right over here, this is a golden russet. Both of these are from Cummins Nursery. They were, I think they were grade 1 trees, fully feathered on this one. I'm hoping to get some really great tasting dessert apples that are russet, because I didn't have any previously in the orchard. Next tree down the line here, next to the beehives, is what was supposedly a Dolgu crabapple. It is not. This tree has been in the ground a long time. I ordered it from Willis, and apparently it has died back, and this is a rootstock crabapple. So this is going to be my experimental tree for grafting this year. It's got quite a few branches and has some pretty blooms, purple bark, but no edible fruit. So I've got scions ordered for red astrakhan, black gilliflower, and one more that eludes me right now. King of Tompkins County. So hopefully in about a month, when I start doing some pruning, I'm also going to graft onto this tree. It's a windy day here. It's about 50 degrees. You see the bees are picking up on their activity a little bit. We want it to be springtime, but we're not quite there yet. We just got over a pretty bad ice storm, so I'm sure they're happy to be out. This is the oldest tree in the orchard. This is a Goldrush that we ordered from, Gurney's years ago, like 2011 or so. It's been a good tree. It is extremely productive. So much so that even though I have been thinning it what I consider pretty heavily, still has been insufficient. So I found last year that just had too many small apples on it. They never matured well, and it was exceptionally dry. It was a terrible year for an orchard. We were 12 inches behind on rainfall. We're still in a drought now, and this time of year is not particularly wet. So hopefully in a couple months we're going to pick up some more. You see that I had some breakage even with the apples, weighing down the branches. I just sprayed everything down with Spectracide Immunox, but then as I was evaluating this, I saw some fresh damage here, and it looks like the woodpeckers are back. I've just had terrible luck with woodpeckers on this tree. So unfortunately, that limb may have to go, but I'm hoping that it's able to be saved here. This is a Williams Pride. This has been a pretty productive tree. I did mention before that we've sprayed Immunox today. We've also been doing dormant oil, but I see I've actually got a worm case on the lower limb here, so I'll pick that off in a moment. And then also, unfortunately, there was an Enterprise tree there last year. That one succumbed, I assume, to drought. We were watering every week as best we could, but operating off a well that also is used to supply the water in the house. Couldn't overdo it, so that was unfortunate, and a tree that we'll have to replace. The next one here, this is a Stark's Super Red Fuji. I honestly think that this is the best tasting tree in the entire orchard. It's just phenomenally sweet and delicious fruit, but it is a pretty heavy biennial bearer, so I think we picked like 4 apples off of it last year. That's just the way that it goes, but this has been a great tree. The next down the line here, we have an alternation with some plum trees. This is a Bruce plum. This has been down quite a while. And then right over here is another Williams Pride. It's been a great producing tree. This one is from Rain Tree Nursery, and just some great apples. I just have a lot of issues with birds. They ripen so early and they get dark, and the birds seem to love them. And then right over here, another Bruce plum tree. The Bruce plums originally were sold to my parents as self-pollinizers. They're not really. So we planted this Methley tree here in hopes to increase the pollination. So I'm hopeful that that will help. This is a Liberty tree. I've got 2 Liberties. I selected those for disease resistance, hoping that they would sort of be the main crop apple. It's done okay, and the apples taste all right, but beyond the disease resistance, I don't feel like they're particular standouts. So this is the problem child here. This is my other Enterprise apple, and I came out today and noticed that right here on the main trunk where it is forked, there was some white fungal growth, which had me very concerned. So I scraped all that away with a pocket knife and then sprayed it down with Immunox, an ounce of Immunox per gallon of water. And I'm hoping that it doesn't croak as a result of that. I could maybe top work it, but it's a great tree and I really hate to see it go. So I'm hoping the fungal spray saves it here. It's got a sort of a weird growth habit. I don't like that, but overall Enterprise has been a pretty productive apple tree with a good flavor. I like those. And then last in this row, this is Karmijn de Sonnaville. It's been in the ground 2 or 3 years. You see that it's got some bark peeling at the base, which I don't like, but it's never produced an apple yet. It has bloomed, I believe last year it had a couple blooms on it. I'm hopeful that 2023 is the year for it, because those apples are supposed to be both high sugar and high acid. So I'm excited about that. The next row is some Asian persimmons. These have been in the ground 2 years at least. This is a chocolate. That actually had a fruit on it the first year, and I think a raccoon got it. This is a Fuyu. I had 2 Fuyus and one died, possibly from drought. It was right here. And then this is an Izu, which I'm hopeful will make it as well. And then last year, a couple more trees. This one is one I've been wanting for a long time. This is an Arkansas Black. I think this was also ordered from Willis. Hopeful that's well adapted here. And then another Izu persimmon tree, just a whip at this stage. And one more section to the orchard, and I'll show you that. So sadly, this is our largest remaining peach. This is a Redhaven, which is sort of like a market standard. I actually had an Eden over here, which was a white flesh peach, and I think this area was just too boggy. We get some drainage here and like little crawdad holes, and it succumbed, unfortunately. This is a Liberty tree that I had ordered from Cummins, and it had been basically broken in half in shipping. Good job, UPS. Managed to save it, and it's actually doing okay. So hopefully we'll get some fruit on that this year. 2 more very small peach trees. This is a blood cling peach, or Indian blood, if you're so inclined, which is interesting because I think that I'll be able to actually directly take snippets from it and plant those, because I don't believe it's actually a grafted tree. I think those do okay with direct planting. So may try to replicate it later. And then this is a Monroe peach, Guardian rootstock. It died off at the top last year, and we cut it back. I don't know what to say about peach trees. They are susceptible to everything, and if I had it to do over again, I probably would have planted apples here instead of peaches, but everybody loves peaches. So that's pretty much where we're at for the beginning of February. In a month, we're going to start doing the pruning and grafting, and hopefully have some new trees arriving as well. I've got Gallerina, Sundance ordered, and King David, as well as Pink Pearl for apple trees. I think that I have a Kenmore plum ordered, as well as some Ichiki Kai Jiro persimmon trees. So I'll try to do another update probably around June when everything is showy. And thanks for watching.